All right. Hello, Speedgaming 2. Welcome to the first match of the losers bracket between Grubdog and Splagoon for this all bosses, no major glitches tournament in 2023. My name is Fortify, and I will be taking care of the commentary. The runners should be ready to start. Should be a good race today. So we see on Splagoon's timer, we have the time going down for the match. 3, 2, 1, start. All right, it looks like their times aren't fully synced up. We'll see about fixing that right now. But yeah, this is once again, this is all bosses. So this is going to be, again, a little different than any percent, not fully 100%, but kind of a good mix between the two, a nice intermediate mix between the two categories, so that's always a fun thing to see. Solid climb so far for Grubdog and Splagoon. Splagoon taking slightly more safe pattern on it. Ends up paying off a little bit, actually, taking a small lead heading into the Elaine Emmy. Again, all of these Emmys at some point got names, but this one's the only one that her name stuck. All of the names were based on of characters from Seinfeld, funnily enough. But yeah, Elaine is the only one that stuck. So. Splagoon has a very small lead into the Elaine kill. So we'll see if and how he is able to keep the lead. Coming up to one of the first big tricks of Artaria, the early cloak pseudo. Ooh, Grub gets it in 3, very nice. Splagoon not far behind now. Coming up to the first boss of the run, Corpius. Good old Corpius. Yeah, Corpius has some RNG patterns to him. Ooh, but looks like Grub's getting a headlock, so gonna take a nice, good lead right there. Yeah, Corpius has the option RNG-wise to be moving his head around quite a bit during the Phase 2, Phase 3, but like we just saw from Grub, if you're able to move Corpius from Phase 1 into Phase 2 as he's spitting, then you get a headlock where you just shoot missiles all at all of the face. He's stuck in the bottom half of it. So.
Uploading data.
And obviously the guaranteed 2 cycle on Corpius is always very nice. So after this, now that not after, I should say now that the first Emmy has been taken care of, the broken Emmy. This basically goes into an any percent Artaria, so both runners did do early cloak, so they're going to be going through the water skip coming up, the water platform skip a little bit after that, Maga skip towards the end of Artaria to activate the Emmy. So solid Artaria, typical any percent. Grub does get a second try at water skip. Splagoon gonna be heading there right now. The water skip can be... It's not a difficult thing to do, especially with if you have Phantom Cloak already, which is why we typically grab the Phantom Cloak. But it's definitely one of those things that can very quickly spiral out of control if you're not getting it. So that third try looked good on Splagoon, but slightly off. Does get it fourth try, so... It's about a 513-ish charge beam for Grub. Gonna be heading back into the second round of the Artaria climb now. Splagoon, meanwhile, again, not super far behind. It's mostly just the headlock that Grub got and the second try water skip as opposed to the fourth try from Splagoon. So yeah, about 34-ish seconds at the moment separating the runners. Not insurmountable at all. Again, this is the first losers bracket round. Both of these runners have had a match prior to this. Splagoon did end up losing his match to Root, and Grub ended up, after winning in the first round of the winners, ended up taking a loss to Delusional Prince. So that's the story of them in the losers bracket. So fight or die, as they say. Good movement from both of these runners thus far. Again, it's really just those big two, the headlock and the second versus the fourth try water skip right now that is doing a lot of the separation right now. And with Grub coming up on Magus skip now, we'll see if he's able to get it first try, or, excuse me, or if it ends up taking him a little bit. Because small things like that are what's bring time back very quickly in this game, so... Splagoon not going for the spin falls, the pivot spin falls, might not be comfortable with them. Maybe doesn't necessarily know them. So this looks good. Ooh, I stand corrected. So Grub ends up getting what is essentially a third try Maga skip. So again, that's going to be probably about 7 or 8 seconds back for Splagoon right there. This central unit fight is pretty typical of a normal CU fight. Spam it with missiles to blast the shell off, and then blast the core itself with the missiles. We'll see if Grub is able to plant kill this Emmy. Does decide to go and jump over it. You know, consistency. It's all what this level of the tournament is about. Going for a plant right there and losing it would have basically equalized the run. So, can't fault him for the safer strat at all. See if Splagoon goes for a plant. It looks like he's slightly too late for a plant. It looks like he will have to jump over. Yep. Ooh, he was Splagoon was good to charge that in the Emmy's face, but again, kind of a knowledge check on that part, I guess. But again, like I said, opt in for the safety strats, which is all you can do when you're in a win or go home kind of scenario like this. Coming up to the last trick of Artaria, there's a damage boost that you can do on the way to Catarus right here. See if Grub is able to get it. And he does. Solid damage boost from Grub. So Grubdog is going to be looking at a 10-13 exit Artaria. So we'll see. Because I'm seeing in the chat now it was a third Trimagus for Splagoon as well. So 10-13 Artaria. We'll see if Splagoon is able to do. Well, not do anything to like necessarily pick up time, but like make sure he doesn't lose more time. Grub landing in Catarus now as Splagoon goes for the... Ooh, no, he's going to opt for the magnet across. Okay. I mean, again, consistency. But this is about a 7-second loss, so...
Uploading data.
So literally about a minute and a second are separating the runners right now. And again, at this point early in the run, not insurmountable by any means. Still very likely to be able to come back from a minute. Anything can happen over the course of the next hour. But yeah, Splagoon has a little bit of work to do to catch up. Grub going for Super Boost. This looks good. Ooh, I cursed it. I'm so sorry, Grub. My apologies. Sometimes those plies just don't want to cooperate, even if you set them up correctly. But you know what? I'll take the L right there. It wasn't Grub, it was me. Sorry. Gonna go for the Hell Run. This is a 3-second save if done optimally. Ooh, really solid movement from Grub. Gets through no problem. Does get optimal RNG as well, so if Grub really wanted to, because he got the optimal Emmy RNG and was able to get those health drops, he could go for Hell Pseudo coming up. The commentator curse, yeah. Alright, Splagoon gonna be possibly going for... Ooh, no. Not gonna go for Super Boost either. Okay, Grub gonna be... Ooh, Grub catches an edge there. Oh, no. Grub has one option here, really. He has to go for the counter. Oh, yeah. Unfortunate. Grub unfortunately ended up taking an early death as Splagoon is going to opt out of the Hell Run. Because again, optimally it's only 3 seconds, so Grub gets a little bit of a better RNG spawn from the Emmy there, but that still does suck. Grub going for Hell Pseudo to try to get back some of that time. Tries it twice and opts out. Yeah, that's what you're wanting if you're Splagoon. Any and all kind of advantage to close the gap a little bit. And even though Grub tried to get that time back with Hell Pseudo, I mean, even then, the about 7 to 8 seconds with the going around, plus about 1.5 seconds for every failed Hell Pseudo attempt, so... equivalent out to more about, with the 20 seconds, yeah, it's ended up totally being about like a 30-second loss for Grub. But one of the first big, massive tricks of the run coming up, Atom Skip. Grub's going to be attempting his attempts now. However long Grub spends in this room is time for Splagoon to catch up. So this is Grub's 4th attempt, going into his 5th. This one looks so he went out of it. It looked like it might be good, but Grub having a little bit of trouble with the Atom Skip right now. So Splagoon getting a way back in. I'm not sure if Splagoon goes for Atom Skip. I think he does, but I mean, I can't say for certain. But with that being said, Splagoon has caught up. Both runners are at Atom Skip. And Splagoon ends up grabbing Atom Skip first as Grub gets it not too long afterwards. So Grub has a little bit of better movement after Atom Skip, so still has a small lead. But this, again, that minute that Grub was ahead entering Cataris has essentially been closed. Tournaments, everyone. Both runners neck and neck at the moment. Grub's like a frame or two ahead, but both runners neck and neck. Both runners opting to jump over again. When it's this close, I don't blame them. I'm not sure if either have the race stream open, but Grub probably thinks that he needs to be a little safe for consistency's sake. Yeah, you're able to see what was neck and neck after leaving, after going for the reversed Atom, has now turned into a small lead again for Grub. Splagoon going for a lot of safety at the moment, which again, you can't fault him for. These are strats that he probably knows like the back of his hand. It's compared to some of the more slightly riskier strats that Grub is going for, that's what has turned back into a small lead for him. Okay, 1749 for Grubdog on the tram press, and a 54 for Splagoon. So again, what was neck and neck turned into about 5.5 seconds. This is why everyone says, and it's true, but this is why everyone says that one of the most important things about this game is your movement. You can get every trick first try, get every quick kill you can, but if your movement isn't up to snuff, then you are going to be losing time. We're coming up into Dyrin now. Dyrin 1 is just kind of a quick stop to grab the wide beam before heading back to Cataris for the Morph Ball. Yeah, we see again the difference there between those climbs on the magnet between Grub and Splagoon. Grub went for the more standard and I guess you could call riskier strat with the Phantom Cloak jumping off of the magnet, while Splagoon did climb up the magnet to get down. That alone added a little bit of time to the gap, so. The runners briefly high-fived. Again, Grub going to open this door, grabbing the wide beam now. Splagoon not far behind. Really cool damage boost coming up that Grub could go for if he wants to. And goes for it and gets it. See if Splagoon goes for the same, or if he decides to opt out of it. I wouldn't be surprised if he does choose to opt out of it, though. Yeah, he does. Yeah, Splagoon's been taking a lot of safety strats. And honestly, from the way he's moving normally, it looks like he could be doing a lot of this stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see if he outright just doesn't know it or is not as well practiced as he would like to be on some of these movement strats. So 2032, leaving Dyren for Grubdog, and Splagoon gonna be at 43. So about another 5 seconds were added to the clock there, about 10 seconds separating the runners. But again, 10 seconds, if you're a Splagoon, you'll take that over the minute that it was when both runners entered Caterus 1. So yeah, just the small little spin falls right there. Grub was able to get through pretty efficiently, and Splagoon kept falling on them. So again, small movement stuff like that, you guys. This game's movement is it matters so much, especially in small situations like that. Grub going for the pretty standard kill. There is a I'm not sure if you would call it a quick kill here, but there is a kill method that you can do here known as Professor Stupid. It loses time on this split, but it saves time on the next. So it looks like neither runner will be going for it. It looks like Splagoon won't even be going for the fast kill here. He'll be going for the 2021 kill. So the thing about this kill that Splagoon is doing here is, by far is it safer, but the Emmy, if it passes underneath that tunnel like it did, Samus will absorb the Emmy on this side. So this is actually a slower kill as well. So you see that Samus is not on the opposite side of where she needs to be. Grub accidentally grabbing a missile. No big deal though. He's gonna start his 100% all bosses run now. Both runners heading up to the Varia suit now. The Varia suit, the Varia climb is a really cool, fun bit of movement leading up to the next zone. A lot of runners do enjoy it. It is a pretty fun movement section. So we'll see how they both progress in it. Grub did end up grabbing this missile plus 10 pack, and Splagoon will do the same. This helps a lot for Kraid, but in my experience running this category, it's an even bigger help for Drog later on in the run. Those extra 10 missiles, and in Grub's case, these extra 12 missiles, will help out tremendously going for the Drog 1 cycle kill later in the run. Grub almost grabbing that energy parts. I think think at that point, grabbing 2 items that you didn't mean to, you're obligated to start running 100% at that point, right? Grub starting his Varia climb right now. Movement is looking pretty good so far. Splagoon gonna be starting his right now. Ooh, Grub gets a little scammed by the blocks towards the end of it, but otherwise a pretty good Varia climb. Like I said, Splagoon starting his now. Has a little bit of time to potentially get back on Grub right now because Grub's climb wasn't the best. I am caster cursed in Splagoon though, so my bad. Grub with the Varia suit now, gonna be heading back to Catarus. All right. So both of these runners are heading to Kraid now. Kraid is a fun fight. There's a couple of tricks that you can do, a couple of ways you can get this kill a little bit faster. We'll see if both of the runners end up going for it. Good movement. Heading up to Kraid for Grubdog. Splagoon getting off of the teleport right now. And as we are entering Kraid, as I always say, I would like to ask if there are any jammers in the chat. Grub entering Kraid right now, 27 minutes exactly. Good RNG thus far. Grub going for the infinite wall jumps, trying to skip that phase 2. Nice, does get them. Not the best RNG for phase 2. It's not terrible RNG though for Grub. Splagoon going to be entering phase 2 soon enough right now. And Grub exits the fight. Splagoon, meanwhile, taking on the more normal, casual, intended method of getting the platform down, shooting the belly. We have 28 minutes on the dot for Grub on collecting the diffusion beam. So it was about a minute spent on Kraid in total for Grub. Not bad at all. RNG not as good for Splagoon, but again, not terrible. He's going to be heading out of the fight now. So again, that 35-ish seconds still separating the runners. Grub trying to build up a lead once again. Splagoon trying to hold on to the advantage that he was able to claw back in Catarus 1. solid movement on the way to the early grapple. Splagoon heading down there now. Good coyote jump on Splagoon. Good movement on the way out of Artaria again for Grubdog. Runners high-fiving right now. One going back up to Dyron, the other one going down to collect the grapple beam. Good job from Splagoon not accidentally grabbing one of those ledges. That's typically why we drop down there in Morph Ball and just kind of weave down the platforms. On top of Samus falls faster when she is in Morph Ball, so double-edged sword of, you know, being faster. I liked that wall kick, though, from Splagoon. That was pretty swaggy. Grubdog going to be going now into this Emmy zone. Ooh, accidentally takes a dip in the lava. Unfortunate. Luckily, it wasn't a big loss. But again, any loss is an advantage towards Splagoon. Grub entering this Emmy section right now, and hopefully he gets some good RNG with this Emmy. Sounds like he does, and yeah, able to do some pretty nice, clean movement through this section with the Emmy in a good spot. Not like mine the other day. See if he goes for the Dark Room pseudo. He does not. I think Ed is the only one that goes for Dark Room pseudo, but I could be wrong. Alright, Splagoon now entering this Emmy zone. Looks like he has a normal Emmy section. Oh, very nice from Splagoon, being able to dodge the Emmy. Gotta give him points for that. It's usually fairly risky to go about it like that. Samus's hitbox towards the Emmys can be a little weird sometimes, so... Grub going to be heading now towards Berenia 1. Berenia 1 is mostly just a movement area. One of my favorites, Berenia in general, one of my favorite areas of the game. But Berenia 1 is just a pit stop, I guess, in order to get flash shift. So there is a trick that the runners can do in Berenia 1 known as backdoor flash. They do have grapple beam, so it is only faster. With grapple beam, it is only faster if you get it first try. It's about a 7 or 8 second save, depending on your method. So we'll see. Grub, I know, goes for it. Splagoon, I will not necessarily be surprised if he doesn't go for it, especially considering the Again, he has Grapple Beam, so kind of like a decision-making process right there. Like, if Grub goes for it and kind of flubs it up, but he doesn't go for it and, you know, gets that 7 seconds, then he could theoretically take the lead over Grub. So that looked good, and it was. Little slide there in order to manipulate the attack pattern on that enemy. Splagoon head into Berenia now. Missiles, unfortunately, a little bit too slow from Grub. Nice damage boost, though. Ooh, Grub, a little bit of an issue grabbing onto the magnet right there with the grapple beam, but is going for backdoor flash, so we'll see how many times it takes for him to grab it. Second try for Grubdog. Grub ends up going for a wall kick method. So that is still going to be about 5-ish seconds lost. So we'll see what Splagoon ends up doing. Grub going for these pseudos to drain the water. Gonna go for the pause buffer one now as Splagoon goes underneath. Yep. Grub going for the water bomb jump and gets it. Good. I don't know what the mash is in order to get the wall kick. Oh, that's right. Something to take into note with Splagoon, because he went underneath, those enemies end up respawning, because technically he's been away from them long enough for the game to respawn them, so gotta keep that in mind when you go underneath. We'll see if he goes for these pseudos as well. Looks like he won't be, so... Oh no, he is going for them. He's just going for the older one on the left. Okay. Does end up getting it. Gonna go for the second one now. And gets it. Alright, cool. I haven't seen that one in a little bit. Gonna opt to not go for the water bomb jumps and just gonna flash shift out of Berenia. Grub, meanwhile, is entering these central unit fights, so we'll see how this goes for him. Really solid fight. It looked like Grub might lose the Emmy right there just towards the end of that, but he doesn't. Good on him for not. We got a 3848 speed booster for Grubdog. Splagoon with a little bit of a interesting manipulation on the Emmy to try to get it to do what he wants. Grub now showing off the versatility of this game's speed booster. Probably the best speed booster of any of the Metroid games. Actually, not even probably. The speed booster is amazing. Almost gets the 3-link chain. And headed up to Ferenia now. Splagoon, meanwhile, just taking out the yellow Emmy now. Okay, so there's a minute. Okay, so about a minute and 20 currently separating the runners at the moment. And again, so much of that is just on movement alone. Grub's movement is looking to be superior. So he's being able to build up a good lead once again. Especially again after what happened in Cataris. Grub going for QR keep. Does get it. Very nice. Very nice. Grub is electing to go for a safer kill, though. That's fine. Ooh, misses the store. Unfortunate. Misses the store again. No, Grub! Splagoon on his way. Grub having a rough fight. Probably like a 15-20 second loss. Missed some stores. Did also end up going for a safer strat at first, so unfortunate. We've all been there though, that quiet rope fight, not good. Sometimes the RNG can just not be nice to you at all. He's not doing short boost, no Ross, he is not. This is all bosses, my friend. Although B-Dog apparently has been cooking, and there might be a short boost route for all bosses, but it would only save like 5 seconds or so. Like literally 5 seconds. So, you know, is it worth it? No QR keep for Splagoon, but if he does have a cleaner fight than Grub, he will still be picking up that time. Ooh, Splagoon also missing a door. Oh no, missing another store. So both runners are not having good QR fights. No, Splagoon! I'm so sorry, my friend. Does he finally get a store? Unfortunate fights from both quiet rope fights. A little bit unfortunate for both runners. Alright, Grubdog now entering Barenia 2. One of my favorite movement sections of the game. It is also where in this category the runners will fight Drod. This is another one of these bosses that is normally skipped in the other categories of this game. Of course, unless you're running glitchless. But these are going to be the next big test for the runners, if they're able to one-cycle this boss or not. Not one-cycling this boss is about a 20-second loss, because Drod will just go into phase 2, and it's about 20 seconds or so to get him back into a state where you can do damage to him. Probably gonna go for his kill now. Looking good so far. Going for the counter method, and Grub gets a 1-cycle. So Grub gets a 1-cycle draw. We'll see if Splagoon is able to also go for a 1-cycle. Splagoon now going up. Ooh, unfortunately doesn't get the flash shifts right there, but Splagoon now going up to grab the, or to the Drog fight. Ooh, barely gets the store. Does manage to grab it though. Alright, good keep up the top for Splagoon. Gonna go into his Drog fight now. Grub has to bomb those blocks, so that's okay. Alright, we'll see if Splagoon is able to 1-cycle, because again, it really sucks that not 1-cycle in this boss is such a big time loss. Oh, it looks like he won't be going for it. He'll just go for the 2-cycle Drog. Meanwhile, Grub grabbing super missiles. Gonna be heading to Elune now. Grabbing that plasma beam. Splagoon again taking the safety strat up to Berenia Tower. I really do feel like Splagoon is showing a lot with his movement. Like his movement is there, so it's interesting why he is not going for some of these more difficult strats, because a lot of these are not necessarily hard there, but it might be he just doesn't know them, or is not, again, not as well practiced in them as he might like to be. So, but his movement is definitely there, like, so it's just one of those curious things. Grub entering Elune now. Story-wise, this is where all the quarantined acts are waiting. It's also where the plasma beam is. Splagoon making his way to this next robot boss fight. Ooh, does get the charge off, or the spark, I should say. Ooh, Splagoon dangerously low. Does finish the fight though. 4840 on the plasma beam as well for Grubdog. Good mash from Grubdog. Does get both parries. Splagoon grabbing the super missiles now. So very possible that we'll see another high five coming up here in a little bit. One going to Elune, the other one exiting it. Or it might actually be in Gavern itself. Splagoon tries to go for the hackathon boost. I believe that's what Ed called it the other day, but is not able to grab it. Grub going to be going for the patented hardest trick in the game. The dreaded cutscene skip, and does nail it. So yeah, runners high-fiving, one returning from Elune, the other one heading there now. Gonna be going into this keep now for the ice missiles. So far so good for Grub. One of my favorite keeps in the game right here. Does nail it. Such a fun speed keep when it works out all the way. Ooh, Grub getting memed. We'll see if he's able to charge this spark, and he is! First try, as a matter of fact. Great job, great recovery from Grubdog right there. Meanwhile, again, it was a 48-40 plasma time for Grubdog, and it's looking to be a 51-30 for Splagoon. So I would say like close to 2.5 minutes or so. Are now separating the runners. Good fight so far from Splagoon. Going into phase 2, Grub meanwhile grabbing the ice missiles now. Good movement from Splagoon in this fight. A lot of fundamentals right there. Grub now going to be going for the spin boost. The spin boost is required in this run because, as opposed to not in any other runs, because the spin boost activates a boss later on, right afterwards. So it is a little, however, slow to get there. So Grub is what's doing, or setting up, oh, he had it right there. Grub is setting up a glitch known as ledge warping in order to return from this boss. There you go, he has it again. In order to return from this boss immediately, or not boss, I'm sorry, from this item after grabbing it. However, the thing about the ledge warp is once you have the ledge warp stored, you can't unmorph because otherwise you lose the warp that you stored. There we go, Grub having a little bit of issues getting up. Splagoon opting not to go for the speed keep, is going to flash shift his way through the ME zone. And there's the ledge warp for Grubdog. Grub going to be entering through this next boss now. Ooh, almost doesn't get the store, is able to store it on the slope though. And does get the spark into this boss. Mushroom Room not messing with Splagoon, which is always good to see. Gets better RNG. Then Grubdog entering the CU room. We'll See if Grub goes for this this Noya keep. I think I heard a flash shift. Yeah, so he's not going to go for the keep. Oh, I do too. The animation when you spark into that boss off of the wall is one of the coolest animations in the game to me. It's just they took the time to animate that, and I think that's really cool. Splagoon, meanwhile, on a really bold kill right now with this Emmy, and does end up getting it. Nice. Big props to him. I probably would have flash shift across the room, I'm not gonna lie. So great kill from Splagoon. He'll now also start his go into the spin boost. It did take Grub a little bit of time to get the spin boost as well as the store in the ledge warp movement. So we'll see if he doesn't go for the ledge warp, or if he opts to potentially go for it. Grub making his way through the early gravity puzzle, is able to get up there. Splagoon is going for the ledge warp. Does get it third try. Oh, he gets it third try, but he opts out of it. He loses it, doesn't think he has it. Oh, he has it again, he has it again. Okay, so Splagoon will go for this ledge warp. He does get it quicker than Grub did, so we'll see if he is able to pick up some time on Grubdog here. And it looks like he will. Splagoon will pick up some time on Grub here. However, with an entire segment separating the runners, Splagoon's going to need some good movement leading up to the gravity suit. Not going to go for the spark kill. Just going to go for the mash. All good, though. Grub now entering the Frozen Artaria section of the run. This is where this run differs from any percent a little bit and kind of like joins up with Hundo. There are bosses that you have to fight in Frozen Artaria and in the Frozen sections in general. As opposed to in any percent, you just bypass it entirely. Movement-wise, though, it's one of the best sections of the game. A lot of really cool, fun movement is in Frozen Artaria. Ooh, Grub taking some damage here from this first red soldier. Ends up being alright, though. It's okay to flash out of that room again because this isn't Hundo. You don't come back here. Ooh, Grub losing the keep. It's okay, though. Yeah, that keep, Grub is a Hundo runner as well, so that keep is a little bit different with spin boost, as opposed to not having anything at all, so. Gonna go for this speed keep right here. Does make it up. I heard the other day that apparently that keep is a little slow, but ooh, the diagonal spark from Splagoon. Bold, I like it a lot, actually. Apparently, though, that speed keep is a little slow, I heard the other day. but I'm not sure what the faster method would be. Alright, Splagoon will now be entering Frozen Artarian now as Grubdog enters Frozen Catarus to deal with Z57. Probably the best boss of the game. Very fun one, very well designed one as well. But again, not really seen if you primarily run any percent. Grub unfortunately getting some swipes. We'll see if he only gets the one. He does. Splagoon making his way to this first red Chozo soldier fight. Is able to charge the spark. And does get it on the soldier. Again, this soldier does a lot of damage, though, if you're not prepared for it, so... Good kill from Grubdog. It's always really funny to see that, after the Z57 fight, since we skipped the cutscene in the run, to just see Catarus back to normal, because like the cutscene that happens after Z57 is what like Samus, how she fixes and restores the thermal flow to the planet and all that kind of stuff. But since we skipped that cutscene, it just goes back right back from frozen back to normal. So it's kind of funny to see. Splagoon doesn't get his store or his speed booster off. Now going for this keep. Does get it though. With the screw attack now in tow, Grubdog will head back to Berenia. Go and deal with the Berenia twin soldiers before heading up to back to Gavarin to deal with Golzuna, everyone's favorite run killer scorpion thing. Splagoon, meanwhile, heading down to Frozen Catarus. Oh, somehow, some way, Grub lost his speed booster. Okay. For some reason, or for a little bit, I was very worried that he had the boss glitch on his speed booster. But it turns out he just lost it, so it's a good, welcome sight for him. Splagoon entering the Z57 fight now. Splagoon not able to take out all of the arms from Z57. Again, this might just be knowledge checks on his part. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, I really do feel like Splagoon has a lot of potential. Like, Splagoon has a lot of abilities. Like, even right there with that kill, that was a really clean kill. Like, Splagoon has a lot of potential and could be doing a lot more than what he's currently doing. Oh, ends up taking the bottom way out of the fight. Interesting. Ooh, Grubdog failing the Golzuna kill. At this point, I would very much just rewind the load last checkpoint, whatever you want to call it. Oh my goodness. Unfortunate from Grubdog, especially because these cross-bomb particles that Golzuna fires do so much damage. Like, to the point where you can only take, like, 1 or 2 of them. Like, this is not looking good for Grub at the moment. Not even gonna go for the second, store at that point. He knows he's too low. Is able to get the quick spark, though, for the core kill, though, so that's good. Splagoon, meanwhile, making his way now to grab the screw attack before making his way back to Berenia. Grubdog doesn't get trolled by the crossbombs. Yeah, Grub has some pretty good mashing. Alright, so now Grub is now entering Hanubia, the planet's surface. However, he's just going to be here for a quick second as he heads back down to Ferenia. Splagoon, meanwhile, gets the jump first try. So again, that alone will save some time over Grub, who did take it, I think it was second try, or... Especially if Splagoon is able to have a cleaner Golzuna fight than Grub did. Good fight on the Berenia twins. So now that Grub is in Ferenia now, just a few more items to pick up, a few more bosses to kill before entering the true last stages of the run. But at this point, when you're entering Ferenia, you could definitely consider this the end game of the run. Had a good movement section there too, especially because the Emmy wasn't, he didn't have to jump over the Emmy. Alright, now again, if Splagoon has a cleaner Golzuna fight, okay, just one more spark. He cannot tank another one of those. Meanwhile, Grub gets a 3-cycle SQ fight. Ooh, Splagoon joined, again, old strats here. I'll bump it into the core X with the screw attack. So all in all, they're both runners' Golzuna fights probably even out. Good movement by Grub on the way to the Ferenia set of twins, as Splagoon heads to Hanubia. This run is being done on rookie mode. All runs, unless the runners are handshaking, are being done on rookie mode by default. So with rookie mode, you have the additional 30 missiles, and you also have better drop rates from bosses, etc. Grub seen by the Emmy, but it shouldn't be a big issue. And it's not. Oh no! Grub loses his spark! And is still able to charge one! It's so much harder to charge a spark in this room compared to the Ice Emmy one, because the wrenches in here are firing like rapidly, so really great job on Grub's part. Splagoon entering Hanubia now. We're going to be heading down to SQ. Grub setting up for this quick kill on the Wave Beam Emmy. You can only miss a maximum of 4 shots on this Emmy's faceplate. It is possible to plant kill this, but again, you can only miss 4 shots on it. Otherwise, you have to jump over it like that. Very clean kill, though, from Grub. So we got a 113.50 on the Wave Beam for Grubdog. So all that's remaining now for Grubdog is the end game boss gauntlet. the second red Chozo soldier, the gold Chozo soldier, and and Raven Beach himself. Meanwhile, Splagoon now dealing with the Corex of SQ. Again, gonna screw attack into this one as well. 3 cycles it. Excuse me. Grub looking to be on a really solid pace at the moment. Again, despite what ended up happening with his atom skip attempts, Grub's still looking to be on a good pace. A good Perennial Twins fight for Splagoon as Grub grabs looking to grab the power bombs. Good jumps from Splagoon. Again, you can make those without, but it just goes to show you again that at this point the game is designed to think that you have space jump. So good movements from Splagoon heading up to this CU kill. Grubdog with the full, I guess we're calling it Penthouse Keep. Cool name for it, I like it. But Grubdog with the full Penthouse Keep. Meanwhile, Splagoon going down to take the purple Emmy out now. Is going to go underneath. This is a safer kill. Don't blame him at all, honestly, for going for it. Compared to the other 2 kills, this is, well, not the other 2, but the optimal kill, this is by far safer. And probably what you should be doing if you're not comfortable with the optimal quick kill for the Emmy. Over, you know, the casual way to kill it. But gold Chozo soldier done for Grubdog. He's gonna be heading up to Itarosh now to face Raven Beach. So at this point, Grub has to die like 3 times to Raven Beach. So Lagoon looking at a 118.10 for the wave beam. So close to 5 minutes are currently separating both of our runners today. No, it was a lot of it. There's not necessarily a mistake or different routes. No, a lot of it is just this game is very movement heavy, with a lot of its speed tech kind of a thing. So Grub's movement is just a little superior to Splagoon's today. There was a point early in the run where both runners were neck and neck, but off of movement, Grub has been able to compile this big lead. On top of, yeah, I was just about to mention that as well. On top of Grubdog doing a little bit, excuse me, sorry, Grubdog doing a little bit more current tech, where compared to Splagoon, who is still doing some older techs from late 2021, early 2022. So. Which is, and I've mentioned it a few times, it's very interesting that Splagoon is choosing to do this, because his movement is there. You can completely see where his movement would be if he weren't doing a lot of these safer, older strategies. Nice parry from Grub. One and two. Ravenbeak taken care of. Grub going to be entering the final boss of Metroid Dread, the Spin Boost Escape Sequence. But yeah, if you're ever wondering, those watching this run at the moment, if you're ever wondering how important movement is in this game, this is a very good example of a run to look at, because tricks aside, so like safety strats, older versus the newer tricks aside from both runners, Grub's movements is what ended up giving him his big lead today. So if you're ever wondering how important movement is to this game, very good example of it in this run. Grub entering the final stages of his escape as Splagoon dealing with the gold soldier right now. It's going to offer him a parry. Grub charged up a speed heap right there as if he were going for Arc Spark. Spin boost Arc Spark is pretty darn hard though. All right, and with a final race time of 1:22:39, 37:39, Grubdog is going to be the winner of this race. Congratulations, Grub. GG. Switch over to Splagoon's audio now, where he is heading to Ravenbeak. Really solid run from both runners so far. I think Splagoon is going for 9+1. So here's the thing about 9+1, everyone. Public service announcements. 9+1 is the worst gold skip method that you could do. And again, this is not to be like mean to anyone who does it, but it is the slowest one because on top of just generally being slower, you have to rely on RNG that Ravenbeak gives you. So if anyone out there still does 9+1, I would very highly recommend swapping to the Storm Missile skip method for gold skip. It is not as hard as it might appear to be, and is going to save you a lot of time on your Ravenbeak fights. So if anyone has any questions about that, please ask anyone in the community. Because yeah, 9+1 is not it. Solid fight though from Splagoon so far. He is out of missiles at the moment. Oh, he's getting a sun first. That is tough RNG to start phase 3. This should be a counter, and it is. Good phase 3 from Splagoon. Well, again, that's the thing. No cross bombs is kind of one of those newer strats that were developed over time. So again, Splagoon probably just doing what's comfortable and consistent, which again, at this point is fine. Ooh. Okay. Safe. Does accidentally spark up a little bit too far to the right, but is able to grab the ledge of the wall. Solid escape so far from Splagoon. Swaggy ball spark up. You love to see it. It's one of my favorite ball sparks. It's just so fun to see Samus go up that entire thing as a ball. Ooh, good movement on the final ending from Splagoon. And with a final race time of 1:28.04, Splagoon is going to finish the race in second. GG's to both runners. We'll see if we can get them in for a post-game interview. Yeah, once again, GG's to both runners. Looks like they are both here for an interview, so I'll go ahead and get that started with them right now. Hello, Grubdog and Splagoon. GG's to both of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, GG's Splagoon.
Yeah, GG's Grubdog. Great win you got there.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great race to commentate. You guys were at the start of it. There was maybe a 30-second gap, but you guys were neck and neck for a little bit there.
Oh yeah, we can thank Adam Skip for that.
Adam Skip doing what Adam Skip does. I wanted to ask you guys how you think your runs went. We'll start with you, Splagoon.
Well, I think that was my second best run, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think what was it? Last week was my first 127, so a few seconds off from a 127.
Yeah, just a bit.
Honestly, I'll take it.
Absolutely, yeah. Congratulations. That's a really good time for a second best time. GG.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially because this category, again, it's kind of like a weird cross between any percent and hundo. So really solid time. So yeah. And then Grub, how did you think your run went?
I'm pretty happy with it considering I woke up this morning, I had a fever and a cough, so I wasn't feeling great for this. But just finishing a clean run, I was pretty happy in the end. I had a lot of weird speed booster problems as well, but the backup strats came through.
Yeah, fair enough. There were a few instances of just barely missing out on some stores, or just barely getting them as well. So makes sense, especially if you're feeling a little under the weather. So hopefully you're able to feel good again coming up soon. Because again, yeah, that sucks when you're not feeling your best and you have to do a race like this.
Yeah, it's fun though.
I'm no stranger
Better
to
than
that
lying in bed.
environment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out to you guys a lot during the run that you might wanted to explain or touch up on? Either one of you.
Golzuna, I was mainly just trying not to die, so that was a very slow fight, but I was happy not to die. So yeah.
Yeah, that fight did run pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I thought I got my opening strat because I did it as normal, but then it just was a bit too far to the left or something. So the fight ended up completely different after that.
Yeah, just you're going figure 8 on that, right?
Yeah, which usually is consistent. I got it practicing right before the run, but oh well.
It's also one of the coolest ways to set that kill up.
It's
if I may say.
Yeah.
Absolutely, swag strats all day. And then Splagoon, how about you?
I don't know what happened on the Quiet Robo fight.
Yeah.
I kept going for the speed booster, and I kept hitting it too early.
Yeah, I was actually practicing that fight earlier today, trying to get some more quicker charges off, and that was happening to me a lot in practice. So definitely feel you on that.
Yeah,
I had a rough fight there too. That Chozo just not cooperating today.
Yeah, I feel like that.
I think the ground was sticky or something like that. It was the weather.
That soldier, on top of all of the other robot soldiers, is very RNG heavy. I found so it's like, what's it gonna do?
Oh yeah,
and if it doesn't
I got
this,
there's kind of a way to deal with it, but I got the counter at the start, which is not what you want. But there's a way to deal with it, but I just didn't react quickly enough to that.
Yeah, because even if you do get a counter at the top at the start of the fight, you're able to kind of go into a backup optimal fight. But yeah, even then, it's wild with that soldier.
Yeah, it escalated.
It escalated very quickly. And then Splagoon, have you been running a lot since the Any Percent tournament? Because I know that you were in the Any Percent tournament as well.
Yeah, I took a little break after the Any Percent tournament, but then, I got the itch, so I had actually started doing glitchless for a while.
Ooh, nice.
Which is a very strange category, I'll say. But then when this tourney was announced a few months ago, I was like, oh, I'm going to try out this, and this is a really fun category, I'll just say.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's definitely more than any percent, but again, it's that not exactly hundo, but like good stepping ground into it. So it's a lot of fun. I ask because I remember your movement and everything from the any percent tournament, and it was like really, really good. Like you were looking like you were really polished and really knowledgeable on a lot of stuff. And then today, I still saw that you have a lot of like potential and a lot of like really cool things that you could be doing, but are just doing a little bit of some older strats. So that's why I wanted to mention that. So just wanted to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely playing a lot more, doing a lot more practice back in the last tourney.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, yeah.
so-
I mean, nowadays I'm like working so much I can barely sit down and
Yeah.
practice.
Know that feel,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I just wanted to ask that because again, your movement is amazing. You have really strong movement. So it would I just wanted to like see if that was necessarily like maybe not as practiced or consistency or anything like that because yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm always willing to point out like good movement when it's being shown right in front of me, right on Speedgaming. Just
Yeah, but like
really,
playing
really
that
good
close
movement.
to your PB as well is pretty impressive.
That
The
too, yeah.
consistent movement helps with that.
I was gonna mention that as well too, yeah. But
Yeah, I
again,
mean,
second
I'm
best run.
happy.
So yeah, I would be too. I mean, yeah, GG, you had a really good run. Let's look at the brackets then going forward. So, Grub, you are going to be moving on into losers round 2. It looks like your match will be either between Metal Militia Captain or the loser of B-Dog and Metatron. So, how do you feel about that prospect?
Well, yeah, after Metatron beats B-Dog, it's going to be a lot of fun playing B-Dog. So yeah, we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah, Metatron has B-Dog shaking.
But yeah, like all three of those players are really cool people, so I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking like it will be a cool one to do. And then Splagoon, unfortunately, this will be it for you. What are you gonna be doing now that your attorney run is over?
Oh, well, I came out and I played some Dread, and that was my main goal. So going forward, I think, tourney or no tourney, I'll just keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the heck out of that. This is a good game.
I like a little bit, yeah.
Just a bit. For those in chat who would like to follow the runners, here are their Twitch links, Gamers, Grubdog, and Splagoon. Great runs from both of them. And then if people enjoyed the commentary today, here is my link. I'm also participating in this tournament, trying to schedule my next match at the moment as well. So yeah, with that being said, are there any final thoughts from either of you guys?
Good luck in your next game, Fortify, and thanks for commentating as well.
Yeah, no problem. I was free to do it, and of course, no one had signed up yet. So I don't want
Yeah,
runs
appreciate
to
it.
not have commentary, especially if someone's available to do it. So
Yeah, good luck to both of you in your runs.
yeah, and good luck to you and yours. I mean, again, off tournament or no tournament, good luck to you and yours. I look forward to watching your progress. All right. With that being said, thank you everyone for watching this this match between Grubdog and Splagoon. With that being said, we will see you next mission. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye.
But
Bye.